Hi, Scrappers. This is Alice from Morgantown, Pennsylvania, and I want to show you this really cool technique using our elegant diamond border punch. Normally, you can use this border punch and make a border all the way across the page, but for this one, I'm going to show it to you where we just use a little piece of it on a border. That's the technique that I want to show you. And I just thought this was so pretty. So here's a page I used with the Enchanted Princess stickers and some papers. It came out so pretty. Absolutely love it. Here's another page I did. Let's pin my screen so you can see it up close a little bit better. Um, this page was done with the Christmas charm papers. Just wanted you to see how pretty. Here's some Christmas charm embellishments as well, but how pretty is that border? Just absolutely love it. Here you notice I did it with 4 diamonds. I have another one that I did with the Christmas charm paper, only using 2 of the diamonds. Here's some with some pictures as well as some of the Christmas charm embellishment. But I just wanted to show you how pretty is it using that strip of paper and those diamonds. I'm going to show you how fun it is to create this border and how easy it is. So, like I said, normally you can take this border punch and you would punch using this is the border punch. It opens up, it has a design on each side that you're going to overlap, and you can see it on each side of the border punch. So, normally when I put it in, I would start at there's a little line in the front. See that little line? That's where your paper is going to start if you want to go fully across. And I'm going to quick do that to show you. I would start the edge of the paper at the front line, keep moving over the border and lining it up with the design on the paper tray. So I actually missed one. Go back. I'm only supposed to move it to 1. Okay. See, I've been doing it so much with the turning it over to see where I've punched, and it's a very delicate punch. So you want to be extra careful when you're putting it on the tray to make sure you're lining it up and being careful moving it across, because you want to make sure you are getting the exact lineup so that it's punching more punches exactly as you would go across. So by lining up, I move it over 2. There's still one underneath, you'll notice, and that was my mistake in the first part. Okay, so then you move it over 2. You're lining up that design with the design on the paper tray, and then you have this gorgeous, beautiful, elegant diamond border punch. So pretty, absolutely stunning. But I want to show you something different with it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do it where that punch is only in the center, and then I'm going to cut a straight line across. So it's almost like you're trimming down your border. So I am going to take um, 2 pieces. This is some of the shimmer black paper. Might even be a shimmer steel. It's very, very dark. What I'm going to do is I am going to mark off. This is a 12 by 1.5 strip, 12 by 1.5. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down on my mat, or you can use a ruler, and I'm going to mark exactly where that 6-inch line is. I'm going to do two of them because I always like a double page spread that matches. So I want my border to match. So again, I'm taking, this is 1.5 inches by 12 inches. I'm marking it at the 6-inch mark, just with a little white marker. And you can see I just put a little mark on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn over to look at the back of my border punch. Yes, normally you would use it from the front and you would look at these lines. This time I'm not looking at those lines at all. I'm flipping it over. I'm looking at the back. You'll see there's two diamond designs on the back. What I want to do is insert that piece of paper, and I want that little white line to be directly between those two diamonds. So I'm going to make sure that the markings actually look like they're exactly between those diamonds. Which way is my camera? There we go. The white lines are lining up, pointing to the center between those two diamonds. And we're going to punch it while it's upside down. So now that's how I got that double diamond look for the center. So if you remember that one page, excuse me, I had created with the two double diamonds in the center. Oh, so sorry. Those two double diamonds were in the center. That's exactly what I got here. So I can use that if you want. I want to make it so that there's 4 diamonds across. So what I'm going to do is I can't pull this over and line it up. Oh, if I line it up, it's going to create more diamonds across, and I only want 4. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to look at the back. I want one on this side and one on the left. One's on the left side, one on the right side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that border that I punched back into my punch, and I'm going to line up one of the diamonds that I just punched. And I do have to turn on another light here just to see it. I am going to line up the border, the punch that I had already done, that diamond design. And it would work so much better with like a bright orange or a yellow rather than a steel gray black color, because it's very hard to see. But I do have the one on the left here perfectly lined up, and the piece of paper is lined up under the second one. So I'm just going to press it, punch that way. When it punches the one that I had already created, it isn't going to punch any papers off of that. It is just going to repunch the same design. And then I'm going to do it on the other side. Now I want to get one more punch on the opposite side. So what I'm going to do is line up this one with the punch next to it. So I'm going to put it back in. I'm going to line up those punches. What I already punched. Again, it would be it would work so much better with a yellow. But for our purposes of today and what I was thinking I would do, I may go back and decide I'm going to do this in yellow. I do have a piece sticking out there. Okay, so I'm going to put this back in. I'm going to flip it over so I can line up that diamond shape that I've already punched, and make sure it is matching perfectly. Oops, it is falling out because my hand is not on this. Let's do it this way. Here we go. So you get the idea. I'm going to move this over. I'm just going to play around with it till I can see that that shape is directly on the same spot that I had punched before. And then I'm going to punch it. Let all that debris fall out. And when I pull it out, I have this perfectly set up the 4 diamonds directly in the center of my border. But if you notice how I did it before on the Christmas one, I have it much thinner than on here. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut away the edge of it. So you can pull out your trimmer, your 12-inch trimmer. You're going to put your border into this, and you can see where your cutting line is. It's the one closest to the bigger side of your border of your 12-inch trimmer. So the cutting line, you're going to put the edge right about where this little dot is up here. You want to cut along this line. It's about 1/4 of an inch you're going to cut off, but you're only going to cut off between the diamonds to the edge of the paper. So I'm going to move this up. I'm going to line it up. That little ball on the edge of those diamonds, I want to be right on my cutting line. And when I close this, don't cut yet, don't push down. You can pull out, there's a little plastic piece that's in here. It's on both sides of your trimmer. It's tucked underneath your trimmer here, under the ends of this bar. This little plastic piece has a whisker line, a very faint black line. It's actually very dark. And you know what? Let me show you that line on white paper. You'll be able to see it much better. So when I look at it, see that black line right in the center of it? That is on these plastic pieces. That is going to show you exactly where it's going to cut. You can look at the arrow in the front of your blade housing. That's going to tell you, but it's going to give you a roundabout. It just is so much easier to see with these little black whisker lines. And again, I'm using black paper, so it makes it difficult to see in the video, which I did not think of, but I still want to show you because this is going to come out stunning. So I am going to put my border on here. I'm going to close this. I'm going to check that that whisker line is right about that the ball on the end there, and I'm going to move this over and just check this side as well. Just move that side up a little bit, and this side, that looks perfect. Then don't cut through yet. What you're going to do is you're going to, on the side of your blade housing is that white line. That's going to show you exactly where your blade's going to start cutting. You're going to move that white line to the edge of that box of paper that we want to cut off. Just move it to the very edge. So it's right after all those beautiful designs. You're going to press down and go out to the edge. And you're going to bring your blade housing over to the other side, just where the edge, where that piece of paper is sticking out. Line up that white line of your blade housing. You're going to press and move it out to the end of your paper. That is going to, and I see I did it a little bit crooked, so I'm going to just redo that one a little bit. There we go. So that is going to cut off those ends. See how it's cut off those ends? And if it didn't cut all the way through, it's okay. Just take your micro tip scissors and cut around the edge of that little edge. Oh, I got an extra piece there. There we go. And you can see how I cut away the edge of that border just so that these diamonds could stick out. Now I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. So I flip it over, I get it about where I think it's going to be, but I'm going to double check with those little plastic, I call them the whisker lines. I'm just going to move this up. That one's perfect. And then this side, just going to move it up a little bit. And again, I'm going to look at the edge of those. I'm going to cut to the edge of that piece of paper. where the edge of those diamond cutouts are, is how you do it. Doesn't that look beautiful? So pretty, so pretty. Once again, I'm going to show you how nice that and how easy that was to make. So it comes out so pretty. Now I take a piece. This paper is from the Elegant paper pack. I just had it's called Elegant Moments. It's actually an advisor only uh, pack of paper for $5. So ask your advisor about it if you would like this elegant. It's all silver and gold. There's 6 sheets in there. So I took a piece of that elegant paper. This is a piece of um, shimmer gold, and I am going to just take a little piece of the shimmer gold and put that. And you know that you don't have to have tape all along the edge, because once you put your page down in a book and then put a protector over it, it is going to hold everything in place. You don't need to have so much tape on your page. I can serve my tape. Okay, so I put the gold on the edge. I'm going to take a little bit of repositionable tape and put it on those diamond, gorgeous diamond cutouts. And then I'm going to put some regular tape on the edge of my border. And I'm just going to marry the 2 pieces of paper I have here. I have the gold and the elegant piece there. And I'm just going to put these across. And didn't that come out just gorgeous? I absolutely love this border. So I'm going to quickly do it again. Like I said, I marked the 6-inch mark. I'm going to take my border punch, flip it over, put those white lines in there. I'm going to line them up and punch so that those white lines are directly between the 2 diamonds. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the diamond over. I'm going to line up one diamond that's already punched with the punch that is in there so that it is duplicating the punch right over top where I did. So I got one more. So now I have 3. And then I'm going to go do one more on the other side because I want 4 diamonds all together. So I'm going to just line up the one that's already cut in there. It's getting caught on some funfetti that's in there. Okay, going this way. Your diamonds are very fragile in this one. So you want to watch that they don't get caught or bend a little bit, because then they will get caught in there. Okay, once that's lined up, I punch another one. So now I did one extra on each side. I have my 4. That's what I wanted. I'm going to take my trimmer and I'm just going to trim off each side, looking through my whisker lines to make sure they are lined up perfectly. Start that white line on the side of my blade housing, exactly on the edge of the paper, and trim off 2 little edges. I'm going to flip it over and do it on the other side. Okay, and I want it to be, move that down a little bit. Get on this side. Let's see how this side looks. It looks good. And I'm just going to go to the edge of that paper and cut. Hold it. I'm just trying to hold the diamonds down in place so that the paper doesn't move. There we go. I cut off my little 1/4-inch pieces off the edge. You can do it by hand if your hand is steady. Mine's not. That's why I always pull out my trimmer. There's another edge. So now to make my 2-page layout, I have 1, Put this one down. Again, I'm putting a strip of gold. I think this strip is about 4¼ inch wide. Put that down. And then again, I take repositionable tape, which is tiny little glue dots that I can just run over holes and it will just adhere to the paper on the holes because underneath I had my silicone mat, which it won't stick to. So always use some kind of silicone mat or wax paper, something under your repositionable tape. Or you can just use a piece of scrap paper, but you'll see all the little holes, all the little glue dots that um, come out on the paper in between the holes. So it really makes great for adhering things with lots of little tiny details. So here we have our page. I'm going to just put this down a little bit over it. And there is two beautiful pages. I'm going to work on some wedding pages next, and I just thought that would look so pretty. Love this design and just had to share it with you. Enjoy. Have a great day.